Today we are at another coin show, this time in Carthage, Missouri. This is a small 2-day show, but there's a lot of dealers here, and I hope that today I can actually find some silver. Now, I actually set up my own table, so I'm selling as well, but my goal today is to look around and see if I can find low-priced, low-premium silver. So we're gonna be looking for things like generic rounds, silver eagles with a low premium, and 90%, but I'm going to write down everything that I find and to share with you what people were selling their silver for at this coin show. So let's go into the coin show, take a look around, and look for silver. Come on and join me. Let's do it. But really quick, before we do, don't forget to go down below and make sure you're subscribed and help us get to 200,000 subscribers. Another year, another monster box of silver. For 2024, SD Bullion is giving away a full monster box of their 1-ounce silver Tree of Life coins. You can enter this giveaway all year, but I suggest that you do it now by going to sdbullion.com/sweepstakes and make sure you enter today. Thank you to SD Bullion for sponsoring my channel. So this was a much smaller coin show than the one I was just at in St. Louis, Missouri. Like, the one in St. Louis was huge in a huge convention hall. This one was in what looked to be like a little gym or stage area. It was kind of small, and what was funny is they literally just had court in the same area right before they started setting up the show on Thursday night. But, you know, I was invited to it by Mike from Mid-America Coins, but I'm glad I went because there were a lot of different dealers there. Every single table was full, and I got to see a lot of different silver, a lot of different gold, and get a lot of different prices. There were people selling stuff for, honestly, a little bit too much. There were some incredible deals as well. And in fact, I took advantage of a couple of really good deals on silver eagles and even Morgan and Peace dollars. And I'm going to show you all that in this video. But also, every single table that had silver, rounds, 90%, or eagles, I asked them what they were selling for. And I was able to do this on a Saturday, so the market was closed, so I know exactly what spot price was, so I knew exactly what the premium they was charging. I didn't have to worry about the fluctuation in spot price from dealer to dealer. And it was really interesting to see the variation in prices from table to table at the same show. There were some dealers with way higher prices on their 90 or higher prices on their eagles than, say, another table. So let me show you some of the stuff that I picked up, but also I want to talk about, because I wrote down everything, I want to talk about some of the premiums that I saw at the show, and maybe that'll give you an idea of what you can try and look for if you go to your own. All right, so we're going to do this a little bit differently than I normally do with my slideshows, primarily because many people actually skip that part of my videos whenever I look at audience retention. Maybe you'll like it better this way. So we have spot price at $31.28. This was on Saturday. That meant 90% melted for $22.36. It is dropping today, though, and that is very unfortunate. Take a look at our numbers today. You can see silver is down 86 cents. Gold is down $71.20. And I believe on a percentage, that's basically the same drop. Wow, look at that. Huge dip today. So we probably could have got this a little bit cheaper if silver had dropped a little bit more. And I don't know, maybe it's going to keep going. We might see silver under 30 soon. But let's take a look at the numbers here. So you can see we're looking at 90% dimes and quarters and half dollars. And our first dealer right here had dimes and quarters at $22 per dollar. So they were actually selling it under melt. It was melting for $22.36. And I actually took advantage of this deal, by the way. I'm going to show you that here in a minute when I show you what I picked up at the show. Half dollars, on the other hand, they had $24, and I wasn't really about paying $2 more per dollar just to have half dollars. So I picked up some dimes and quarters. Our second dealer was 24 across the board, so you can see 24x, 24x. So he was selling everything at 24 times face, or around $1.64 over spot or over melt. Dealer 3 was a little bit cheaper at $23.50, and that was for both $23.50 for gold and or for 90% dimes and quarters and half dollars. Dealer 4, now this right here, he had 23 for both, but he did offer me right here, take it all for $22.50. That being said, he had a lot. Like, he had a lot. It was, gosh, it had been a few hundred face. So he had more than I had money for. But $22.50, really not a bad deal. Again, at the day, it was $22.36. Now, our fifth dealer right here actually didn't have any dimes and quarters, but he did have half dollars once again at 24 times. And I believe we only had 6 dealers that had 90%, and he was also 24 times. So you can see our best dealer right here was this one, $22 per dollar, and that was below melt. And I took advantage of that, and I bought some 90%. Again, I'll show it to you in a second. Now, scrolling down, we have rounds and eagles, and you can see dealer 1 right here was +1/+2. Now, you're probably wondering what that means. Well, he had some, like, generic Buffalo rounds that were spotted and stuff like that, those were the +1. Oops. And the nicer stuff, you know, the nicer they weren't premium, but they were just brand new. He wanted +2 on. Both of these numbers really aren't that bad in today's market, though. I actually +1 was pretty good, except for I didn't really like what I was looking at. So, you know, they really did not look very good. They were spotted. They had, you know, fingerprints on them, stuff like that. He had Silver Eagles right here at $7 an ounce over spot. I did not buy those. I found dealers at a much better, or Eagles at a much better deal. You'll see that in a second. Second dealer had just any rounds for $1 over spot, and that was for the nice stuff or whatever he had. He has $5.50 over spot for Silver Eagles, so a lot cheaper than our second dealer. This is where, you know, the difference in prices come through. And I didn't take advantage of this either, even though I thought that was a pretty good deal. Again, let me show you why. Our third dealer, now he was way higher. Look at this. We went from $5.50 to $8.50. Keep in mind, this is the same show. So we're literally at the same exact coin show, and we had one dealer at $5.50 and one at $8.50. Who would you buy from? If you took the time to walk around the floor and you would see all three of these numbers right here, right? Which one would you choose? Like, why would you just not choose the $5.50? And I think that's why it's important to show people how important it is, especially at a coin show, to kind of walk around and see what's available. Because if you bought a bunch of Eagles at $8.50 thinking it's a good deal, or $7 thinking it's a good deal, and then you spent your money and then you get to this table right here, well, you're not going to think it's a very good deal anymore. He was also $2.50 an ounce over spot for rounds. All right, next up, this is the one I could not pass this up. Dealer 4. Look at this. I'm going to show you what I bought. It was only one tube. He had one tube. He offered it to me for $3.50 over spot. And $3.50 over spot is an incredible deal. One roll. I could not say no to that. I literally could not say no to that. It was like 34. It wasn't actually, you know what? Doing the math in my head, it wasn't $3.50 an ounce over spot, because what did he offer? Listen, I paid $680 for that roll. Yeah, because I remember counting out the cash. He was $2, so that was 34. So he was $2 and wow, he was actually plus 272. So I think what he said was $3.50, and then he offered me the whole roll for $680. So I literally paid him $2.72 an ounce over spot for Silver Eagles. And let me show you, and that's it, by the way, on my sheet. Let me show you the Silver Eagles. It's a sealed tube. Look at this. Like, it was literally a sealed tube, still from the mint, of Silver Eagles, and he did tell me that they are 24s. So this dealer, and this was near the end of the show, so I guess he was just trying to get rid of stuff to get out of there. That was a great deal. Now, granted, today it's a little bit more over because, again, we have had, you know, silver dropping quite a bit, but that's actually really, really awesome. So that's one of the things I bought, but I want to show you some of the other stuff that I bought at the show as well. All right, so we told you about the Eagles, and I had to put some gloves on because I'm going to be touching some silver. And I will start by also showing you the 90% that we picked up. Now, this 90%, as you saw, I paid $22 a dollar for, but what I didn't tell you is he kind of let me reverse cherry pick. And what I mean by that is I actually got to go through it and pull out coins that I thought were too worn and replace them with something else. And you'll notice there's actually quite a few proofs in here as well. So probably someone cracking those old proof sets out to get the Franklins, because the Franklins tend to have value that's that or higher than the proof set itself, especially if they're really nice. But we got a lot of proof 90% silver quarters in here. And this one actually I probably could have replaced, but there's still most of the silver there. My point is that there's no slicks or anything like that. These are all really nice 90% silver quarters at $22 per dollar. That is a really good deal. All right, the next thing I picked up are these beautiful 1883 Morgan silver dollars. Now these are all brilliant uncirculated. Take a look at the luster on the reverse of those. These were actually half of a roll, so they had a half roll. Keith actually picked up the half roll, and I picked up half of the half roll from him, so he let me split it with him. But these are nice. I mean, these are really nice 1883 Morgans, and they had these at $500 for the half roll, which means they were $50 per coin. I thought that was a really good deal, but it actually wasn't the best deal I had on silver dollars today, because I also picked up this tube right here. Now let me go ahead and take this out. I put it in these bags just in case the lid comes off. But this roll I picked up at $900. That is only $45 per coin. So $5 cheaper than the other ones that I just picked up. And take a look at that. Those are really, really nice. Really, really nice. Some of them better than others, but all of them definitely uncirculated. So These at $45 a piece. We weren't buying cheap silver here. We were buying numismatic coins right here. I mean, these right here are really, if you sold them individually, $65, $70 per coin, but bought by the tube, I was able to pick them up for a really good deal. And I picked up another tube of silver dollars for a really good deal as well. And that's these right here. Now it says $6.50 on the top, but I actually got these for even less than that. I got this entire roll of uncirculated peace dollars for $610. That is only $30.50 per coin. That is really, really not bad when you, oh boy, that is unfortunate because take a look at these. I did not want to drop any of these. Look at that. $30.50 per coin. I had to buy the whole tube, obviously. He wasn't going to sell them to me individually for that number. I wasn't going to be able to cherry pick them for that number. But, I mean, there's really no cherry picking needed. These are all unbelievable. Every one of them look this good. Look at this. So that was, in my opinion, probably one of the better pickups I had at the show. Because these right here, you could easily, I mean, these are easily 63s. Most of them, there might be a 61 or a 62 in there, but these are easily MS63s, some 64s, maybe even a couple of 65s in this roll right here. There is a little bit of toning going on in this one, though. You can see right here going to the face, probably from the padding that they had in there holding it down. But speaking of silver dollars, I also picked up these. Now these I was actually pretty excited to see, and we did get to cherry pick these. So this dealer actually had a lot more than this. And what I did is I went and I cherry picked every one of them. And then Keith and I, you know, Keith from the Coin Crew actually split them. So he got to take half, I got to take half. But I went through, there were some of these that were not the best looking, but you can see we have some MS64 and MS65 peace dollars in the old NGC slab, or they call them soapbox holders. I went and I picked out some of the bad ones that had some really bad brown spots on them. These are all the ones that still look really nice. And so what I paid, so these sheet for $63, this is gray sheet, $63 for the MS64s, $95 for the MS65s. He let us have them at $60 for the 64s, $90 for the 65s. We actually got these back of gray sheet. So for these old soapbox holder NGC holders and the fact that I got to cherry pick them out, that was really, really awesome. These I will easily be able to put on my website and maybe in my auctions or whatever. So that's why I picked those up. Really excited to have those. And by the way, that's why I picked up these as well. So like, I'm not going to lie about it. You know, a couple of these might go in my collection, but I picked these up primarily to resell, you know, in my auctions or on my website. But yeah, I mean, some really, really good stuff here. Now I have two more things to show you. Only one of them from the show. I actually picked up something the very next day, but I wanted to start with these because this is the last thing I picked up from the show. And I have 23 of these, and you're probably wondering what they are, or maybe you've seen them before and you do know what they are. This pack right here is still sealed from the mint. We have 23 of these 1 ounce silver, the silver card. Now what this is a credit card sized 1 ounce silver bar. These are really cool. Now what I really like about these is there's a lot of blank space, and on the back it's completely blank as well, other than you can see the impression coming through from when it was pressed because it's so thin. But this is cool. It's the size of a credit card. It's 1 troy ounce of silver you can keep in your wallet. And I like the blank areas because I like to do laser engraving, so I can customize these. I can do a design, like a full design on the reverse of the card. I can laser engrave somebody's channel name on the obverse of the card, whatever. So I really like these. I think these are really cool. I picked up all 23 of these for $770, which is $33.48 per ounce, which is just over $2 an ounce over spot. Whenever I can, I know I could buy 1 ounce over rounds cheaper than that. I even showed you that we had multiple dealers at $1 an ounce over spot. But, you know, when I can get these for relatively close to a round for the extra work, I think that probably goes into these and the extra customization that comes along with these, you know, they even come with a COA. I'm definitely willing to pick those up when I can. Those are really, really cool. So that's going to work out really well, I think, for doing customized cards for people. And then finally, yesterday, after I got back from the show, I went to the mall with my wife and my daughter, and I went into this place called St. Louis Estate Buyers. And what it is it's basically a company that, you know, goes and buys old estates, and then they, you know, put everything in their shop and they price it out. So you're going through and looking at, you know, stuff that was left after someone passed away that the family didn't want anymore. And I saw these in the showcase. Now look what I paid for these. These were $50 each, but these are unbelievable. Look how stunning this is. This is an 1884 Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. 1884 I should say. That is an absolutely gorgeous coin for the price. And if you look at this 1887, same thing. This thing is absolutely stunning. Just unbelievably gorgeous. They were priced so well. And what was crazy is inside of their showcase, they had heavily circulated peace dollars with the stickers right on them. And I actually showed a snip or a short from this company a couple of years ago where they have stickers directly onto the center of the coin, just raw sitting in there, you know, the glue on this, on the silver dollar, so on and so forth. But these, I guess they got them and they were already in Capital Plastics. They only priced them at $50, and I wasn't going to say no to picking those up. And because we're in Missouri, I didn't even have to pay sales tax on these, even though it was at a store. So I got them flat for $100, and I put it on a credit card that I got reward points on. So I actually will get a, you know, a 2% kickback, which means I'm going to get $2 back. So in reality, I paid $49 each. What a great deal on those. All right, so clearly this video is long enough, but I just wanted to give you a couple of final thoughts. This really goes to show you that even at a coin show, right, you have multiple vendors that are competing with each other in the same room. You still have a huge variation of what they sell things for. We had 90% anywhere from 22 to 24 times face. We had rounds as low as $1 and much higher than that. We had silver eagles way varying depending on where you go. And you can also find some really good deals like I did on that roll of silver eagles. So the point is basically this: even at a coin show, make sure you take the time to walk around, to ask dealers for prices, and get the best price that you can if your intent is to buy something while you're there. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, do me a favor, make sure you go down below and check and see that you're subscribed. I'd really appreciate it. And while you're at it, hit the like button and leave a comment. That helps tell YouTube that they should recommend this video to others. So thanks again, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.